Hello, this is Zephyr11. I'm just gonna make a new video here because I just started a new batch. So I wanted to show you guys some things I wanted to show you my first time that you might want to watch out for. Excuse me if I don't understand what I'm saying. I'll try to be as clear. But anyway, the first thing I want to try to clue you in on is if you're gonna grow, you should try to check your sockets, your light sockets. If you find your light sockets don't fit tight like this, then you might want to change them. Because that means there's going to be a lot of resistance built up in the light socket, which will cause your unit to overheat, which will cause you have a short eventually and catch your house on fire. Okay, so you might want to go through your house like I did and change all these. I had a lot of defective ones in my unit, so I changed all of mine, which was quite a big task. But it's pretty inexpensive though. These cost about between $1.90 and if you get the ones that are safety off, they're about $14. So they're pretty inexpensive. Oh, by the way, this is one of my finished products from one of my last batches. I got to get better at curing it though, but as you can see, the bud came out pretty good, and I had a lot of big buds like this. This is one of the smaller ones. This is one of the last ones of the batch too, as a matter of fact. Okay, another thing you might want to make sure you have when you start out is something like this. This is when you start your seeds in. I find this to be the best way. This is better than putting them in between paper or toilet paper and all that stuff. This works way better. And you just take it from this, put this into your soil and plant it. Once the seed starts coming up, that is. Okay. And another important thing you might want to have too, also, is some pH down test. This is a pH down test kit. This is very important. The pH in your water is very important. I'll tell you, I was once growing plants for 8 months before I realized that we needed to do something about the water. They didn't even grow for 8 whole months, and that was when I first started growing them. Another thing you want to get is some pH down. You really don't need no pH up because most of the water you get is going to be high in pH anyway, so you're going to most likely have to bring the pH down if anything. So anyway, that's a couple of things that you might want to make sure you have when you start out. Another good thing to have is this. This is the thing that tests the water content in the soil. They make better ones than this. This is a really cheap one. This one costs about $7. Okay, so this is a really cheap one to buy. So, but I suggest getting this because I'll tell you right now, it's really hard figuring out when to water the plant. Especially if you buy the soil like I do that has this like these little white things in it that retains the water, so it makes the water last longer in the soil. You know, I buy that and it works perfect. But anyway, you want to buy one of these. That way you can figure out when your plant needs to be watered. Other than that, the only way you're going to know when it needs water is when you start seeing the leaves kind of like wither a little bit, and you don't want to wait that long. Okay, some plants that's kind of like throwing them into shock and they don't do too well. Another thing you might want to get is a little measuring device like this. These are pretty cheap. These will cost about $1 in most places, you know, a dollar store or something like that. This is so you can measure things that you want to put into chemicals so you can get the right amount. This measures in quantities of teaspoons. Most of your stuff you add to anything, you're going to be adding teaspoons by teaspoon measurement. So, and this gives you the right amount of measurement so you don't overwater. Another thing I suggest you to do is find a way of storing all your water. I store my water in this container right here because that way the pH stays at a constant level and the temperature stays at a constant level, so the plants have a less likelihood to go into shock each time you water them. Because each time you water your plants, they kind of go into a temporary state of shock because of different pH level and different temperature level and that kind of thing, you know. So the more constant you can keep the water pH level and temperature, especially the temperature level of what the room is, then it makes it a little bit better the plants not go into shock. These two plants here are white widows that I just started right here, and as you can see, I start my plants out using the 120 watt LEDs. As you've noticed on some of my earlier videos, I was kind of like downing the LED lights because I was finding a bunch of crappy ones, but over time I was able to get some good ones, and I found the ones that work best for my price range is these 120 watts because you can usually find these 120 watts for under $200, and they work really well. And what I do is I veg my plant with the 120s, and then I blend my plants with the 400 watts right here. This 400 watt HPs right here. I have 2 of these, and this here is another light that I use also. There's a grow light here too. This one I use for when I'm growing a lot of plants and they're really small, just at their vegging stage for just a little bit, and then I add a bigger light. This is my grow room, as you've seen many times over. And I put the wire mesh back here, so therefore I can add things that I want to hold, you know, like hold leaves up or hold wires up, whatever. It just works better that way. And I also painted my whole grow room a flat white, so it reflects the light a lot better. So there it is, you guys. So that's what I got going here. So well, anyway, that's Zephyr 1 out. Have a good growing day. Bye.